Welcome to Ron's RC Garage in Peoria, Arizona. It's Monday, March 6th. It's a beautiful day here in the Phoenix area. As you can see, we just got done racing this old 8T truck. It was our first run on the DNC setup out at Fearfarm. I went out and watched part of the Dirt Nitro Challenge, and the track was extremely challenging. About everybody out there broke cars. It's a rough one. It's fun. So I had just got done taking the off week to go totally through this T3. Replaced every bearing in the truck, went through the diffs, put new drive shafts in it, front and rear. Rear one was bent and U-joints were a little worn in both of them. The chassis, as I've showed before, was cracking right around here where the engine mounts go. So I went ahead and put a new chassis on it, new bumper, new skid plates. Essentially, it's a brand new truck. I didn't want to go out and learn a tough truck with this one, so I pulled the old 8T off the wall, went through it and took it out there and said, okay, we'll just use this truck up some more. This is a ex-Ryan Mayfield truck when he drove for Associated, and he gave it to a friend of mine let me use it to see if I like running a truck or not. This thing's got tons of option parts on it. It's a tough old dog. We had fun. We finished both our qualifiers. The main we didn't finish, and I do not like having DNFs. It was my fault, partially. A lot of the stuff has been changed on this truck, of course the control arms and so forth, but some of the steering linkage parts are old plastic. I knew better, but I did it anyway. I've got some subscribers building new 8-scale vehicles. And they ask some questions and so forth, not that I have all the answers, and I'm not the best driver in the world. I am not one of the fast guys at all. So I tend to be a little tough on this stuff. I noticed when I was inspecting this, getting ready to go, I hope you can see this, like the tie rod ends, they got slop in them. The ball cups for the steering got slop in both of them. I hope you can see that. So what happened in the main, I was going along pretty well, and about 10 minutes in I had no steering. And I had a real good friend of mine, two of them, Don and Daryl Forrest, were pitting me. And lost the steering totally, so I just started coming down off the driver's stand, which really upsets me. I want to finish these things. And Don came running around and said, no, run, the ball cup just fell off. Daryl, put it back on, get back up there and drive it. So I ran back up there and started running some more, trying to be a little more easy. This one right here popped off. Again, my fault for not changing it out. Continued on, and it was going okay. Then 20-minute main, 5 minutes later, I got nothing. I got no throttle, no steering. And Daryl ran out there, grabbed the truck, and again, I was headed down off the driver's stand. I thought, okay, I don't know what's up now. Just don't have a clue. And he said, stay out there, I got it fixed. All of a sudden I had steering and engine, throttle, and took off again. This happened 2 more times. After the race, I did not finish the race. It happened the last time with about 3 minutes to go, and I threw in the towel. I said, this isn't going to work. I'm going to either tear up the truck or cause somebody else a problem. This thing quits right in the middle of the wrong place. So he said, Ron, all I did is cycle the on-off switch. And you had everything. The switch is intermittent, and that's just how that was. So after the race, I was talking to one of the guys out there. His name is Bill Mason, and I mean, he has been doing this for 30, 40 years and knows everything about these. And he's a friend of mine. And I told him what happened. He says, Ron, let me tell you about running a switch. It's not a question of if it's going to fail. It's a question of when it's going to fail. He says, just go to a plug and play. Just get away from the switch. You'll never have the problem again. So that's going to be eliminated now. The other thing, I got real lucky though, I ran as long as I did. This right outer tie rod end, the only thing holding it on is the head of the screw. It popped off the ball. So these things were, again, my fault. Yeah, I'm changing all the tie rod ends and the ball cups for the steering. And of course, going to tear this thing down. Engine, fuel tank, radio tray, shocks, take it out in the garage, get it all cleaned up and bring it back in here. It'll look just like that T3 when I'm done. They're a lot easier to work on when they're clean. It makes it easier to inspect it. It's my least favorite thing to do in RC. I call it doing dishes. And it's just, I'm sorry, no joy in it, but the end result makes it all worth it. And from start to finish, right where this sits, I will have this torn down, squeaky clean, and back in here in about 40 minutes. And then we can start tightening everything up and changing some parts and getting everything going. I just feel it's the right way to do things. So we're going to run this thing one more time, at least. And the rumor is the front straightaway, this layout is the biggest problem. The rest of it's fun. The rest of it, everybody can get around, myself too. I'm not real fast at it, but I can get around it without a problem. So if they do a little something with that front, I'll be putting this T3 back together. And it handles a lot better than this old 8T. It's lighter, it's more agile. Geometry angles on the suspension and everything are far superior to this old truck. But that's okay. This one does good for what it is. I'm just running the old Reedy VRST in this. I run the Alpha in the T3, so it'll have a lot more power. With this track configuration, power wasn't a problem. It was doing fine. So that kind of ends it for your newer guys. You know, when you get your stuff, you throw it down, start racing it. Kind of keep an eye on these plastic ends and so forth. They take a heck of a beating. When they start loosening up, they don't cost hardly anything. Change them out before they fail. That's my suggestion. And take the old ones and put in your box. They'll still work in an emergency and keep some good, fresh, tight stuff on there. And it'll alleviate one more possibility. That's going to happen to you. It's a matter of time, kind of like the switch. It's going to fail. It's just a question of when. That was my oversight also. You never stop learning in this hobby. If you think you got all the answers, you're done. So anytime you can pick up good positive information from people like Bill Mason and Darrell and Don Forrest and stuff, I suck it up like a sponge. If it makes sense to me, I use it. And it's worked well for me. With that, I want to thank you all very much for watching. Have a great week, a safe week. Get those new builds done, and let's get out there. I want to hear how you're doing with them. I'm sure you'll do fine. Just take it easy and get through the learning curve. So again, have a great weekend. Stay safe, and thank you for watching. And we'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.